Boom, baby. It's the Bet Win Repeat show. It is Tuesday. It is June. It is the 20th. It is, that's all I got. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Detroit Lenny with Picks and Parlays. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. I am, like I said, Detroit Lenny. This is Picks and Parlays, the Bet Win Repeat show. We're here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, as always. Today on the show, we're going to be joined by Ross Benjamin, expert handicapper, Picks and Parlays, and Nick Parsons, expert handicapper, Picks and Parlays. So we got two powerhouses always on Tuesdays. I like Tuesdays just because I get two legends I get to hang out and talk some baseball with. So we're going to talk a few different things today. Just what's going on in the world of sports in general, how things are shaping up, everything like that. The NBA, excuse me, I got the hiccups also. I can't believe this. All morning, every time I went to record a video, I get the hiccups in right away, but I apologize. Don't forget, if you're into contests, you're going to get a lot of content in this show. Contest, go over to facebook.com/groups/picks and parlay contest. Okay, go over there. You can join all the contests your little heart desires, and it will look very similar to this, minus that. But that's just Brian Gillihan talking trash. The weekly contest. First of all, the page will look like this. I show you guys every day. Okay, so every day, weekly contest. Brian Gillihan will post every day who's still in it. Tag you in it, so there's no excuse. You can't miss the weekly contest. If you win on Monday, you're in on Tuesday. You win on Tuesday, you're in on Wednesday. These people are competing for $100. Okay. I should have did a graphic because I know you guys can't see this very well. And then the monthly contest. I have graded yesterday's picks, or I haven't updated the spreadsheet yesterday, or from yesterday. Parlay Party hit yesterday. Hit a 3-teamer for almost 400. Plus 396, and then I hit a 2-teamer for plus 260 something. So Parlay Party's in full effect. So I wanted to do another one on that. So I did, and that is out now, available on YouTube. It's on the Facebook group page. It's available everywhere. Do me a favor, watch the damn video. It's 5 minutes of your life. Hit the like button. Help a brother out. You know, I mean, give me 50 comments. Can I get 50 comments? I'm going to be 50 years old on Saturday. For Christ's sake, give me 50 comments. I'm just kidding, folks. That's my, I'm freaking out. I'm getting old. Voice, which I am freaking out because I am getting old. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. You'll never miss any of our free content over here at picksandparlays.net. Also, if you're looking for any of our premium handicappers, the two specifically on today, if I could speak, Ross Benjamin and Nick Parsons, use this promo code MLB. That will save you 20% off the entire website there at picksandparlays.net. We'll jump over to, the chat is Davis. Davis dropping his plays in early and often. TCU, Los Angeles Sparks, my bad. Cubs, Atlanta, Davis, you're all over the place. I love it. Let's bring in our man Ross Benjamin here. Let's get him going here. Let's see what life is treating him like, which, it's Ross Benjamin. How is his life bad? The man, the myth, the legend himself, Ross Benjamin, everybody. How we doing, Ross?
I'm doing good. I'm laughing at you getting all nervous because you're turning 50. Come on, come on, brother.
Come on, man. I know.
You're making me feel like a fossil, for crying out loud.
Come on, Ross. You got a day over 39 and you know it.
Hey, buddy. Jack Benny's age. It never changes. So
never. That's where my mom got it from. When she turned 40, she would have anniversaries every year of her 40th birthday.
Yeah.
So when she turned 50, it was her 10th anniversary of her 40th birthday. So I was like,
that woman's got a positive outlook. I can tell you that.
She did. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to adapt that theory. From here on out, this is the last birthday I'm going to have. I'm just going to have anniversaries of this day. So, Ross, talk to me about some baseball, my friend.
Yeah,
How's it going? How's baseball treating
I
you?
had my 4-game win. I went 4-0 over the weekend. Yesterday, I had the Pittsburgh and Cubs game over 9. Lenny finished 8-0. Pittsburgh left the bases loaded twice. Both teams combined to leave 20 men on base. We talked about this before. There's times when you have a losing pick and you evaluate what happened and you say, would I make the same pick tomorrow under the same circumstances? And the answer would be yes on that one. So 4-1 over the last 5. Nice all sports run of 43-32, Lenny, around 57%. I know a lot of people out there say 57%. I could do that on my own. Well, we'll book your bets, me and Lenny,
Feel free, bro.
Over a course of a year. But
that's why I tell people that all the time when they're like, "Oh, you're only clipping at just over 50%," and I'm like, "Man, I'm happy to be over 50, anywhere over 50."
So we don't get in legal trouble. I was only joking about booking your bets, but my point being is, in Lenny's point is that 57% will make you a lot of money if you do the math, and you're not giving out minus 170 and minus 180 stuff like that. So
right. I agree totally.
Well, what do you think? I mean, Lenny, I had this discussion. By the way, I plugged you on my podcast today. How's that?
Let's go.
Mr. Detroit, Lenny. I look at, what do you think? I think we got 2 very intriguing stories here, Lenny, with the Cincinnati Reds and the Miami Marlins right now.
I love the way the Reds are playing ball. How can you not? If you're on the Reds, if you're a fan of the Reds, you gotta like the Reds. I mean, they're on I don't even know how many game win streak. It's crazy though. They're rolling here. The Rockies I like the Reds today. I'm on the run line with them. I have them in a parlay as well, but on my parlay show, I added them with my Tigers as a nice little parlay. But I love the Reds a lot. But the Marlins, I feel like I missed the boat on the Marlins, and now I'm too late to get on the train. You know what I mean? There's and I involved in that statement, but Marlins are good. I never get on the right side of the Marlins, so that's a personal thing for me. There's a handful of teams I just can't get on the right side of, whether it's with them or against them. So what are your thoughts on the Marlins?
Well, I mean, look, they've won what, 4 or 5 in a row now. They're at 17-5 in their last 22. They're 12-2 in their last 14 at home. Coming off that 11-0 shellacking of Toronto. Their starting pitchers are young, but very, very good. The only thing I would raise a caution flag with the Marlins, Lenny, is yes, they're on a very good run right now, and I just alluded to their records in recent weeks, but they played a very soft schedule as well. If you look at their opponents, now Toronto's certainly not a soft opponent,
right?
But, I mean, they played Oakland, they played Kansas City. There's a couple of weaklings that were on their schedule.
Chicago, the White Sox.
Yeah,
you throw them in there. Bottom feeders. They're beating up on the. Not to interrupt, but this is what I say about my Tigers all the time: beat the teams you should beat, though. Just beat the teams you should beat. Compete in the ones you should compete in.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you should be competing for a division title.
But I'll tell you one thing, Lenny. One guy to watch. This guy is terrific. This Luis Ariza.
I do.
5 for 5 yesterday, Lenny. 2 of the last 3 games, he's had 5 hits. He's had 3 5-hit games this year. And if you go into the lores of history in Major League Baseball, there's only 8 players that have had 5-hit games in one season in Major League Baseball history, and he's one of them right now. And he's got a lot of time left, and there's only been 4 that have had
He'll probably do it
4 or 5-hit games, right? So he's got time to do that. I mean, that's not an easy feat by any stretch of imagination. The guy's hitting 400 right now. I mean, you want to know why the Marlins are doing good? Because they got unselfish players like this kid, and obviously very talented. It's no fluke. You look at his last 3 years with Minnesota, he's hitting the 300s all 3 years.
Video game numbers, to be honest with you, video game numbers, and he does it. He reminds me his swing reminds me, and this is going to get a little technical for you people. Some people might, whatever, I might lose some of you here. His swing, the technicality of a swing. If you're really into baseball, you know there's a technique to it, and some adapt other techniques. Some people are more of a plant swing kind of guy. Some are just all hips, aren't whatever. Miguel Cabrera is one of the most effortless, pure swings I've ever seen in baseball.
Yeah.
And I feel like this guy is very similar. He's batting over 400, like you said. He's always batting over 300, and he's doing it effortlessly. He's very smooth. I do like that about it. I'm a swing guy. I analyze swings, and when I see a dude that he's, like you get like a Jeter. Jeter was not a big home run hitter, okay? But Jeter will give you a base hit. Jeter will give you a double. He will put the ball in play. He will hit the ball. But he knows his role. And this guy knows his role as well. He can do anything he wants. Opposite field, whatever. The Marlins are going to be good for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is with the Marlins, as we both know, is they get real good. And then it's time to re-sign players, and they don't want to shell out money.
Right.
You mentioned Miguel Cabrera. He started with the Marlins. Hanley Ramirez started with the Marlins. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Guys, they let go because they weren't willing to ante up. And no excuse now in Miami. If you can't draw in Miami now with a good ball club, a roof where you don't have to worry about getting roasted by the sun in a day game, or the occasional rain shower they seem to get every night there during the middle of the summer, then there's an issue. Okay. Cabrera's, I don't know if I want to, and I see where you're going with that. I'm thinking more in terms
biased because he's a Tiger.
Yeah, that's okay, because Cabrera was a perennial 300 hitter every year. Cabrera also made it look effortless, like you just alluded to, and he had a hell of a lot more power than the Ariza has, and still does. But I really, when I have to use an example of who he reminds me of, Tony Gwynn comes to mind. And the reason why I say that, Lenny, he makes the game look so easy, like Tony Gwynn did. It's like they're playing slow pitch softball, and they look at the field where everybody's positioned. Okay, they're giving me the line in left field. That's where I'm going to go.
I'll take that.
Yeah, and it's like artistic and
hard to beat those guys because you got to give them something. You can't take away the whole field. It's not feasible. Okay. So if you give him the left line, he'll take it. If you take him the right, he'll take that. If you give him up the middle, he'll take to the middle. He'll do whatever. He can put the ball wherever he wants.
Exactly.
And it looks like it's not just effortlessly slow motion. He's playing. The game is slowed down for him. They talk about that with quarterbacks. Great quarterbacks. Hall of Fame. You talk to any Hall of Fame quarterback ever, any interview, they'll say in their greatest moments, the game slows down. Yeah. And that game slows down, and I think that's what's happening with him because he looks like they're pitching underhand, slow pitch softball, like you said to him.
Yeah, and he's just picking a spot where he wants to go, and he's hitting it within 10 feet of that circumference of where he wants to go. It's incredible to watch. It really is. And look, hitting 400 in the season hasn't been done since Ted Williams, and even me and Lenny weren't alive when Ted Williams was playing.
No,
so
not even.
That's how difficult a task it is for a Major League Baseball hitter to hit 400. And these days, Lenny, with everything about launch angle and everything about power, to see a guy with his approach is refreshing, I think.
So much analytics. So many analytics go into baseball. It's the most analytical sport out there, to be honest with you. Science has played such a big part of baseball lately, and with everything's measured, you know what I mean? And this guy just goes out there and he's just like, it's like he's on easy mode in MLB game, video game or something like that.
I'm glad you said that about analytics in baseball, because I've been a firm believer for many years now. I always say, numbers don't lie and liars don't figure, Lenny. And numbers are very, very important in baseball. Look, this is how managers are making out their lineups every day.
Right.
There's some guy you might say, why is so-and-so in the lineup? He's only hitting 227. Well, he's hitting 320 against that pitcher. Now,
Right.
that seems more like fantasy, but at the end of the day, my Major League Baseball handicapping, look, it's a 162 game schedule. Unlike football, emotion, I don't place a lot of emphasis on emotion in Major League Baseball because, it's a long schedule.
Right.
Where in football, these teams play once a week, right? They come off a big win. They're in for a letdown next week. They were embarrassed the week before. Numbers come into play more so with my Major League Baseball handicapping than in any other sport. And I'm not saying anybody else who handicaps differently is wrong, but I'm just saying that's my philosophy anyway.
Yeah. Nobody's necessarily wrong. I mean, it's just tomatoes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's some people make sauce one way, some make it another way. Either way, I'm going to eat the sauce. Okay.
You never had my sauce, buddy. You would be eating and eating and eating.
Bro, Ross, I mean, you could nowadays in today's society, Ross.
Yeah, FedEx it to you, right? Yeah, FedEx it to you and have it in the heater and the whole 9 yards anyway.
Listen, I'm just saying, Ross, for Father's Day, by the way, happy Father's. Belated Father's Day.
Thank you, my friend, and the same back to you.
Thank you, sir. And I had the best meal. There's two things on this planet that should never, ever be store-bought, in my opinion, unless you have to. One is a good breakfast. Make it. Let your kids make you breakfast and eat it. I don't care if it's runny oatmeal. Eat it because they made it for you.
Yeah.
2, gift cards. I tell my kids, don't buy me a gift card. Make me a card because I'll keep that made card for the rest of my life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where those Hallmark cards, I'm throwing that shit out. But, so I got homemade egg McMuffins on Sunday, and I had my favorite sausage and peppers meal for dinner.
Nice. Do you have any Italian in you, Lenny?
I'm half Italian, half Irish.
Okay, so your mom was Italian, I take it?
No, my mom straight off the boat. Or I should say my grandmother, as they say, right from Ireland, right from Derry, Ireland. And then my dad has his side has Italian, German, and Irish. He's the mud of the family, as we call him. He's got a little bit of everything.
Hey, that's a lethal combination, man.
Yeah, he's all kinds of.
The Irish like to drink and get a little nasty, and the Italians will back you up. Just let me know when you're done arguing when I need to jump in.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out behind the kitchen. I'm done making the sauce, and then let me know when you're done fighting.
And I am Italian, folks, so I'm not. Actually, Benjamin is my middle name. My real first name is Rosario. I go by Ross. So, long time ago, somebody warned me not to use my real last name, and then when I started doing South radio back in South Florida, in Miami, back in 2002, they actually said, I just started in the business. No, you can't use an Italian last name because of the connotations that it implies in your business. And that shows you how archaic it was back then, So, in any event, I'm sure the folks,
Barbara, we were I'll still remember to this day when about 15, I moved out to Vegas about 15 years ago, and my mom says, "What are you going to do out here?" I says, "I'm going to play poker and win money." And she says, "Leonard, that's not a living." I said, "It is if I win enough." And then, to the day my mom passed, she was still like, "What are you going to do with your life?" I'm like, "I'm doing it."
Yeah. Well, everybody thought I was crazy 20 years ago when I decided to go full time with this. And here I am. And to this day, what do you do for a living? I'm a sports betting analyst on video, and I'm also a sports betting professional handicapper. And you're a bookie. No, I'm not.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The best I like is when they say, "Hey, like, for example, who do you like today, Kansas City or the Tigers?" And I'll say, "Oh, I like Tigers because this, and this." And they'll go, "Nah, I like the Royals." And I'm like, "Well, then why you ask me? Why you ask?"
I don't mean to be rude, buddy, but I got a couple minutes. I got another show at 1:30, and that happens on occasion. And then I feel bad even bringing that up because I really enjoy being on the show, man.
We appreciate you every Tuesday coming on, even if it's only for 15, 20 minutes. Every time we get a chance to talk with the legend, we love it. So we appreciate Ross Benjamin as always. Ross, we'll see you on next Tuesday. Take care, buddy.
Thank you. And folks, make sure you support the program. Detroit Lenny's doing a hell of a job here, and he's putting forth a big effort. And I certainly enjoy being on the show, and I'm sure that you guys enjoy watching it as well. Give him a like on every show.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ross. We'll talk to you later.
Take care, man. Thank you.
Take care. All right, guys. We're not done. We're going to bring in our Canadian connection here all the way from, I don't even know where you at in Canada?
On the West Coast, so in BC.
That's right. You're because we're same time, right? Are we same time?
Yeah,
zone?
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. You're the only one that's on the same time zone as me. Everybody else, East Coast time.
Back east, I know, and so I have to work on an Eastern time schedule, and I can really empathize with what you guys were just talking about at the end there, you and Ross, just about trying to explain to people what you actually do. And so it's something, no matter how many times you explain it to them and down to in great detail, they still mess it up. Yeah.
When I go to my wife's work functions, and I'll go there, and then they'll be like, "Oh, this is your husband," and she's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "What does he do?" And she's like, "I don't really even know." And then
I know. I just tell people I'm a writer, a sports writer.
And then I tell people, that's my favorite though. Is I tell people, they'll ask me about a specific game, and then I'll tell them about it, and then they're like, "No, I'm wrong." And I'm like,
right. Well, yeah, exactly.
What do I know?
Why did you bother asking?
Yeah, what do I know? I'm on a show Monday through Friday, okay, 1:00 Eastern. What do I know? Nick Parsons has got a new Twitter, Nick Parsons Pro. Did I type this all right?
Yep,
that's all
exactly.
Right and everything. So definitely
a little bit of a rebranding thing, but there you go. Perfect. Easy to follow.
Yep, I wanted to make sure I put that in there. That's why I made my Twitter. When I made my Twitter, I'm like, it's at Detroit.
Right.
Okay, my email. You ever want to email me? It's DetroitLenny at Gmail.
Yeah,
very
simple. That's better for sure.
Nope, that's not you. That's you. Mr. Parsons, what do we like today in baseball? We like anything going on today? The MLB?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was looking at the baseball, and so, I mean, a few things popped out at me when I'm looking at this card today, and one of them, of course, was a really good series, possibly, shaping up there, was Atlanta at Philly, and just because both teams come into this series really red hot, Philly's all of a sudden turned its season around here. Now, four games over 500. Of course, Atlanta's been killing it, and so they both come in on win streaks there. And then there's a few sort of lopsided runs and streaks here. I mean, Cincinnati, it's now won 9 straight games. There's a few other teams that have really long losing streaks and win streaks here. And so, as far as what I like here, I have what I've often done on the Bet Win Repeat show is I give out a client play. And so that's what I'm going to do today. If you're ready to hear some analysis on that.
We'll take it. What you got for us?
Okay. So, I like the Brewers today. I liked them yesterday, and that didn't shape up too well. But I think this is a good spot for them to bounce back in. And talk about two teams that came into this series red hot. That was the case with both of these teams. But, the Diamondbacks, they laid the hammer down yesterday, 9-1. They're 3-1 in their last 4. And so that loss snapped a 3-game win streak for the Brewers, who had previous to that lost 6 in a row. So I just think it's going to be all hands on deck for Milwaukee here. It's going to want to avoid another losing streak and get back into the winner's circle. And I think that this is a starting pitching matchup that definitely favors the home side. Colin Ray, or however you pronounce his last name, is 3-4 with a 4.71 ERA for the Brewers. He has a respectable 1.216 whip. And so his counterpart, Ryan Nelson, he's 3-4 with a 5.30 ERA and 1.54 whip. And Milwaukee, Lenny, is 3-1 in its last 4 and trying to avenge a home loss as a favorite versus an opponent. I think that the Brewers at this price offer good value. And so that's my client play today for anyone watching. Been lucky enough to be watching right now.
Appreciate that. Look at that. Freebies, folks. Freebies. I was on the Diamondbacks yesterday. I'm not on them.
There you go.
I'm not. I think I I think they steal one, and I thought that was the one out of that series. I like kind of like Milwaukee the rest of the way today. I think they play again tomorrow as well.
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty sure.
do.
Yeah. So I liked them yesterday, but
Yeah.
I just felt I saw, I don't know. I was a little iffy on them yesterday too, but I rolled with them, so I liked it. Talk to me about my Tigers today. Good old fashioned bum fight against Kansas City.
Yeah, well, there's another team that's sort of been doing really well recently. The Tigers, 4-1 in their last 5. They did really well against Minnesota at Minnesota. They're going 3-1, and so that was a really important divisional battle there. Minnesota, I mean, I kind of like the way this one sets up for Minnesota today as well versus Boston, but that's another thing. But yeah, what do you think about Detroit's recent success and surge? I see like 75% of the money on Lorenzen here today.
Yeah, that's what scares me about it. I think so. The Tiger, look, I have no like pipe dreams about the Tigers here. They're not a good team. Okay, they're a good team in a shitty division, if that makes sense.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think there's like probably 2 teams in MLB that I would take the Tigers every day against, and that's Oakland A's and the Kansas City Royals. Every day they play, I don't care who's on the mound, I'm taking the Tigers. That's the only situation that I am on the Tigers. And I'm not getting on the Tigers at minus 140, minus 150, 60. I'm not doing that. It's run line or nothing for me.
Right. Well, yeah, here they are at minus 150.
Yeah, exactly. So today, I think this game ends up very similar to yesterday. They went once we get to the bullpen, we can hit the ball. We have some young guys that are striking the ball very well. Kerry Carpenter, big shot yesterday, sparked that win yesterday, comeback win. I like him a lot.
That was better priced yesterday's game.
Yeah, it was so I like them today. I got it at minus 105 for them not to bat in the ninth. So that's the bet I'm going with. Rather than getting on that minus 150 money line, I'm just taking them to win it in regular innings, 9 innings. So, and that's like minus 105, close to even money. Yesterday I had that at plus 105. Today I think it's minus 105. Or vice versa. Yesterday it was 105. I don't know. But it's right around even money, folks, is where I got it. I love those bets. For people that are looking to get on somebody, like get on a team that's 150, 160, maybe that's a little too juicy for you. Look at them to just not bat in the ninth. And like kind of win in regulation, like very similar to a hockey game or something like that. I like those bets. David Tagarsi says, Nick, tell the Yankees, tell about the Yankees. What is going on with them? Tell them about the Yankees. I don't know. Do you know something about the Yankees that we don't know?
So yeah, I think this is what we were just talking about earlier. I was talking about this earlier, is teams on these sort of lopsided streaks and runs. It goes both ways. And so the Yanks, they are on the downward spiral here. They come in having lost 4 of their last 5, including 4 straight. And so they lost the 3 straight to Boston. And so, yeah, that's a really good question. I just think that they've had problems in their rotation. And, but one person who hasn't had any problem this year has been Garrett Cole for the most part. So, yeah, they have 70% of the money on them today at home against the Mariners. And let me get on the right page here.
I think this could be a get right spot for the Yankees, but
yeah, minus 115. And here you have Cole at 7-1 and 2.75 ERA against Kirby. I mean, who's been great, whose whip is actually even better than Cole's, but still, yeah, after 4 straight losses, I would lean heavily to the Yankees here, but so does 75% of the public money. And so that always makes me, betting moneyline sports is, if you're looking at where the money is, it's almost invariably on the favorites, so.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
you don't ever see. Well, I shouldn't say ever, but it's very like, especially money line sports.
It's really rare. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rare. It's definitely not one of those things where you see a lot of it though. You Oh, he wants to know why the Yankees can't hit. Well, they're the Yankees. You know, I don't know. They're slumping. They're very similar to what I see the
Yeah,
White
I mean,
going through.
what's going on with Judge and injuries, and so that's been a key thing, and so that's always been the issue with the Yankees is chemistry and stuff, and they got it going last year, that's for sure. Everyone thought it would just continue for sure. He signed the huge off-season contract and everything, but so far it hasn't panned out exactly as they hope. But they're still 39 and 33, so I mean they're in such a competitive division there with the Rays, who just have the ridiculous. I think if they're like 31 and 7 at home, you got the Orioles, who have just been playing fantastic, and then the Yanks and Jays, who are still, I mean, who would be doing really well in any other division, are sort of falling behind really at this point.
Look, the Yankees probably make the playoffs in some sort of wild card fashion. I think they have a better second half year than they do first half. When we look back, we still have to remember we're not even at the halfway point yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
No
pennants were won at this time of year. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Nobody's winning pennants in June. Okay. Yeah. So I'll be happy if my Tigers, come the All-Star break, are competing for the division, because that is something I did not expect.
And so who's that? I mean, who's that going to be with the Twins?
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got going on today? How'd the CFL? How'd that treat you?
CFL, yeah. I mean, we've got to reach the point of the season where we can look back at results and start making predictions and stuff. And so that's where my strengths come in at that point of the season. And so, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this week 3 here. There's some interesting games coming on here for sure. Just sort of teams that have played that have either struggled or done really well. And so you just got to be careful not to overreact completely.
Right.
But yeah, we got some good matchups here with BC and Winnipeg facing off against each other, both 2-0. That's the first game on the Thursday night. So yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting season. Honestly, I'm Canadian, and I've been to many BC Lions games, and
I would love that.
I really like the CFL, but I, as a handicapper, professional handicapper, the public's interest, as soon as college football starts, then no one cares about the CFL anymore. And so
it likes it falls off
going where the public's interest is all the time. So I play right up until college basically, and then I get more interested again once the playoffs start.
Yeah. It's like everybody gets so dragged down with baseball because it's such a every day, all day. It's consuming. The dog days of summer for a reason.
And then so
and then CFL starts, and then everybody's like, "Oh, thank God we got some football." And then so and then college football starts soon, and then once the NFL starts, it's a wrap. Nobody cares about anything else.
It's like August 25th that the college football season starts, so, and then it's the very next, well, I guess it's, I don't know, maybe September, the first week of September for the NFL, but.
Yeah, the first Monday night game is September 11th. So it's that couple days before, that's the Monday game or whatever. I just know the Lions, they play the first Thursday night game. They've sent out the memo to the NFL announcing that they're coming this year. And we're going to smack Kansas City right in the face. Game 1, Thursday. Nice. Lions money line, run it. Is
that the very first game of the season?
Thursday night. Thursday night football is Detroit in Kansas City.
Wow. Holy.
Yeah. So, woo-wee. So it's good. It should be a good game. So. Hopefully we just don't embarrass ourselves and not show up. So that'd be great. If we could just do that. What else we got going on? Anything else you got for the people, or we're gonna bounce on out of here? I think.
Just that I've been dabbling a little bit in MLS as well, and so you can go check out Nick Parsons over at picksandparlays.net. And yeah, I mean, I'm betting value where I see it. If I could release some picks on esports and different things over at Picks and Parlays, I might do that as well over the summer, because I do dabble in that as well and have done really well in the past. But yeah, so go check that out. Of course, baseball guys, currently on a 26-16 run, and so going to look to keep that going. Check out my different free plays and stuff as well over at picksandparlays.net, and take advantage of some of these different deals and stuff that Lenny's was talking about earlier.
Absolutely. Don't forget, use this promo code MLB. That will save you 20% off of the entire site when you're looking for Nick Parsons premium plays at picksandparlays.net. So definitely check them out as well. Don't forget, this is Bet Win Repeat. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Nick Parsons is on every Tuesday, and we appreciate that as well. 1 o'clock Monday through Friday. We're here Eastern time. Till then, I'm going to bounce on out of here. Nick, we appreciate you stopping by as well. We're going to take on out. Don't forget, hit that like button. Comment down below whatever you're into today. Share me out. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Unless you're against us. Take